What if Aston Martin had Mercedes power? Well, let's try and find that out in F126. Now, this is the Honda power unit. You can see we're maxing out 204 mile an hour down the main straight at Monza. And that gives us, if we fast forward through the lap, as we move down to towards Parabolica as well, 203 mile an hour on that straight there, you can see we're a second behind as lap that I set in the Red Bull, and that's going to give us approximately a lap time of 123.1. Now, I need to explain about the noise that you've just heard there, but first of all, the time I'm going to set is already, you would have smashed it by 2/10, but this is actually my best lap on the Aston Martin Mercedes power. Yes, I've already raced around here with Aston Martin Honda power, and it didn't end so well. Go and check that video if you haven't seen it already. But yes, 205 miles an hour, but just that little bit more straight line speed. I think we can get up to 206 actually, as well, with overtake enabled. I mean, with the boost mode enabled, excuse me, in the races, I mean, that's going to be a lot more. Now, the audio you heard at the start there, the Honda 2026 engine and the Audi 2026 engine isn't actually an F126. They're using the 2024 Mercedes as the default. The sound you've just heard by the power of a bit of code, by changing literally one line of code in the F1 game, is the actual Honda engine from 2025. So yes, neither of them in the game yet, but I mean, I just thought I'd change the engine sound so you can actually hear a Honda engine, because so far we've all been hearing Mercedes power, not even a Honda powered car on F126. Now let's see what this lap time is. We round Parabolica up to the line, and it will be a 122.7. So 3 and a bit tenths faster there. So now let's just see how we can do this in race. Now obviously this is a simulate, because Honda are apparently bringing an upgrade that's worth around 3/10 of a second, which, you know, that could be big. Aston Martin also bringing an aero upgrade too, bearing in mind that there has to be a pinch of salt, because F126's performance is not realistic in my opinion. Now, race strategy is going to be a one stop from either medium to hard to medium. Probably going to be hard to medium, excuse me, because that's the easier strategy for me. That's the strategy I prefer to do. There are some medium compound runners ahead, the two Ferraris, a McLaren, and there's also both Haas cars. That would be the target to do. I'm driving as Lance Stroll. My teammate Fernando Alonso is driving down in starting in P22. 5 red light zone for the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza, and away we go. And it's a sluggish start compared to the Audi there at Bortoleto. Bortoletto's been cut off by Sainz, who's now starting to have a better start as well on his hard tyre. I'm going to dive down the inside of Sainz. I'm going to get the Alpine. I'm going to have to back out if I don't want to cause a crash or lose any front end plate going into turn 1. So, you know, I'll probably a steady start there. Right now it's time to make some moves. First, Liam Lawson, who's not there. Then we're going to move in front of Colapinto. We might as well just dive it down the inside of Albon and Ocon as well, and get 4 positions in one corner. Here's a replay. I mean, this is just a dive bomb and a half, but they are braking a little bit early into that corner, and of course it is easy to make that manoeuvre up the inside. Up at the front, for all his whining in real life, Max Verstappen has the lead in his Red Bull Ford as well. Next up for me will be Ollie Behrman, expert manoeuvre at turn 1 to get that position up to P11, picking them up one by one, as well as watching Hamilton. It's not Hamilton, it's Leclerc. That lovely little move on Antonelli there as well to get that position. This is Lindblad, and the battery championship has come out to play. This is what I don't mind us having battery usage, I will say, but it's when there's just that vast difference and you're a sitting duck. That's what I don't like. You know, it's not really racing at that point. As I blast past Lindblad, you know, pretty much he's probably out of battery, but now I'm out of battery. One thing I have found with changing to the Mercedes engine is it does drain the battery quite a bit. I didn't actually changed the battery, so that might be something that I'll have a think about in the future episodes. But you can see there I'm out of battery, Lindblad's out of battery, and Ocon just blasts past. I'm interested to see how this works in real life, because I think since they've made that slight change, it's come a little bit better after Suzuka. Personally speaking, but let me know what you think IRL wise. And last watching usual AI maneuvers here. They just take the same defensive lines. If you're going to make an overtake there, it's not going to work. Using a bit of overtake here to get past Ocon there, a little bit wide there too. I'm sure he's not particularly happy about this. There's actually a bit of tyre banging there between himself and Ocon as well, which, we'll just track extend. I mean, nothing to see there, but then Ocon just blasts past because he seems to have infinite battery in the Haas for some reason. I don't know how. Again, another thing, performance of the cars. It's not realistic either, but as I said, as well, in addition to the battery being in it. And then just look at Albon. I mean, I might as well just get the white flag out as well. Maybe one game experiment that I do is will turn all the battery off, will make the battery inefficient. If you let me know if you want to see that in the comments below. I haven't done too many game experiments on the channel, purely because of how unrealistic it is. I'm getting past now Isaac Hadjar. You can see there he's out of battery there. He's been forced out by too busy focused on Gasly, and I'm able to slot through. But I mean, look at this again, out of Parabolica AI traction, and again I'm almost out of battery as well. So this is very annoying, and I don't particularly enjoy racing this because I can't defend against Hadjar there as well. And now I'm getting attacked by Ocon as well, who's using his infinite battery to try and get past. Hadjar is now having a go at Albon, and he try and follow Hadjar through because of the cursed curb rule. Traction there, and I'm able to get past Albon and back up into P10 as well. Now I'm going to have a look at Hadjar, but of course, yeah, and then he parks on the apex of Ascari. So what? I'm not really sure what I can do. And also the tyre wear. Unlike, I praise their changes in tyre wear, as well as Albon now is able to get back past. I praise the changes in tyre wear, but in this race it's not been that great, and there has been that differential. And look at Hadjar, he's just gone as well. And I did try changing into none as well to try and save some battery. Didn't do anything at some point. So yes, 4 wide. No. There's contact with Albon. What are we doing? Why are we going 4 wide into turn 1? This is ridiculous. I mean, was it Behrman at the inside? I mean, 3 wide we could probably have managed that, but 4 wide, literally nowhere to go. Albon myself literally had nowhere to go there. And look, Albon's like making contact with Lawson on the left hand side. He's Lawson's on, but he needs to back up out at that point. He should not. He's lost his end plate, and for me, that's his fault. What about Behrman? I mean, again, he should have also backed out as well. Not as well. And this is actually on board, just showing 4 wide does not work there with Esteban Ocon, and Ocon gets his teammate on the exit there as well. As we move then a little bit later into the Grand Prix, I've sort of moved away because of Lawson and Albon are now having a squabble behind. Behrman has pitted because of the 2 house cars, and they're going 3 wide. They haven't learnt the lesson. Lawson, it's Alonso this time, not me, Stroll. But I mean, they haven't learnt the lesson. They are going 3 wide there. Now up at the front, we've got Antonelli's out of battery, and Piastri or Norris, I don't know which one of the McLarens, and Gasly both go through. This is where we need changes to the way the battery works, personally speaking. But anyway, again, the way the battery works in the game is not, I personally don't think, is quite as realistic as what the changes are made after Suzuka. Before Suzuka, yes, but after Suzuka, no. 2.5 second stop. I'm yet to have a pit stop fault on this game. I'm not entirely sure why there's a yellow flag there on the other parabolic. Might be somebody just going off or something like that. But yes, I do manage to recharge the battery. But I mean, just look at this. I just want to save some battery, not being constantly attacked on every single strike. It is unpleasant, I think is the word. As well, they really need to make changes, not just to, I know they're making changes real life, they now need to make some changes to the game, but of course I'm not going to do that because I focus on F127, and I've probably moaned about too much about this, and I apologise. I mean, Sights just blasted past, I'm out of battery, 24.5 was my fastest lap, and you can see here, I mean, I'm out of battery going through Ascari, and then Sights just decides, you know what, I'm going to lose half a second that between Ascari and Parabolica, and just like that he set a new fastest lap as well. As we move then to the final corner, can Sainz get Ocon? They've been yo-yoing through up to the line. Who will it be? And Sainz has enough to drag race past Ocon as I come through then to get P12, which is not too bad for a Mercedes powered Aston Martin there. Obviously I didn't change the livery as well, that was something I didn't have time to do, to swap out the Honda logo. So yes, 12th place though in terms of this game experiment, there shows that promise. 24.5, it's around, I think that, I don't necessarily think they'll have the pace of the Audis and the Racing Bulls. I think they are a little bit further ahead. But I think in that battle after that, I think that's where I expect Aston Martin to slot in with their upgrade coming at Zandvoort in, when is Zandvoort next? A couple of weeks time. As well, actually, in fact, it's next week. Zandvoort is as well. Plus a sprint race, there's going to be plenty of data for them to get. But yes, as I said, there's been a reason why game experiments haven't featured on the channel, and that's purely because I don't really think the performance of the cars haven't been that, aren't that realistic as well. Yeah, it's, as I say, apologies about all the moaning about how the game is as well with the battery and stuff. This is probably the worst circuit for battery management on the game. You know, the slower tracks are much more enjoyable on F126, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't think that anything's going to change because they're fully focused on F127, and F127 game experiments will be coming to the channel very soon after August bank holiday. The week after that, so as soon as September comes, that series will start to kick off. So now is your chance to get F127 game ideas in any of the comments of my videos as well. I might try and remember to make a community post about it too later, about down the line too. But yes, that is it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. I do really appreciate you spending your time watching me moan about F126 and try and test out potentially what could be Aston Martin's upgrade, at the very least, to see how Aston Martin would perform with the Mercedes engine back on F126. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.